I have a pork roast here that's a little over 2.5 pounds. Our Creole soul seasoning. That's about 3 to 4 tablespoons of butter. A half a cup of chopped onion, a half a cup of green bell pepper, half a cup of celery, some garlic cloves that we're going to stuff the pork roast with, and about 4 bay leaves there. Some flour, we're going to brown up the pork roast before we put it in the crock pot. Okay, let's get started. Okay, what I did here was I took my garlic cloves and I made some slits all around in the pork, and I just took my garlic cloves and stuck them inside of these slits here all around the pork roast. You know, here, everywhere. Just do it all over. Now I'm going to take some salt and black pepper and just cover it all over the pork roast. I'm also going to coat the pork roast with a little bit of flour, and I'm going to brown it up before I stick it in the crock pot. So I'll show you that in just a second. Okay, I have salted and peppered the pork roast and also dusted it with flour, and I'm going to stick it into our hot pot here so we can sear it up. In the pot is a couple tablespoons of olive oil. You can use butter, you can use vegetable oil, you can use whatever you like. I'm just going to take it and sear it before we stick it into the crock pot on all sides. Okay, now that we're all nice and browned up, and we haven't set off the smoke alarm, so that's a good sign, I'm going to remove this off the heat and put it in our crock pot and finish it up with our peppers, onions, garlic, celery, bay leaves, and Creole soul seasoning. So we're going to go over to the crock pot and finish it up. Okay, we're smelling good, we're looking good, so let's go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to throw in the butter, our bay leaves, our celery, our onion, our garlic. I'm just going to throw it all in. I'm going to add a half a cup of Creole soul seasoning. I always sniffle when I add my seasoning. I always say if you don't sneeze when you have some Creole soul, it's not made the right way. I'm drizzling a little bit of olive oil over top. And then we're going to just put the top on, put this on high, let it cook down for a couple hours, and we'll come check on it. Or I'm going to add it with some Creole soul rice. That's a project that I've been working on for a while. I'm finally going to go ahead and do it. Some of you have been asking for some Creole soul rice, so let's go ahead and try it. Okay, we're good here. We're going to go ahead and let this simmer down, and we'll check on it a little bit later. Okay, we're going to start on this Creole soul rice. I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of olive oil. About 2 tablespoons of butter. Watch my heat and make sure I'm not too high. I'm going to do medium-high heat because what I'm going to do is I'm going to saute onions, peppers, and celery. Good old Louisiana trio. To this, I'm going to add 1 bay leaf, 2 cups of rice, and I'm not 100% sure on the seasoning. This will be our experiment together since it's our first time making it. I've got a cup of Creole set aside, but let's see as we go. Okay, we've been sauteing for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my 2 cups of rice. I'm going to add half of the Creole sole. That'll be a half cup of Creole sole, just to see what it looks like. I want it to have flavor. I don't want it to be too overpowering. Okay, I have 4 cups of water. You could use chicken broth. If you added chicken broth, that would give it some additional flavor. But let's try it today with just some water, and we're going to see how it turns out. That looks good. I'm going to stir it around, make sure everything's incorporated. I'm going to throw in the bay leaf, put the top on this and let it simmer, and we'll check it out. Okay, it's been 20 minutes now and we're looking good. Fluffing it up. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Looks good. Smells good. Whoops. Four hours later, I'm finally able to pull it all apart. Again, this was a 2.5 pound pork shoulder that cooked down for 4 hours, and we're ready to go. Sorry, it's a little foggy. There we go. Look at that. Delicious. Okay, there you have it. We have our Creole sole rice, our pork shoulder, just still bubbling away in the crock pot. Let's give it a taste. Delicious. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Gave her a little taste of it, and she fussed at me until I fixed her a plate. So here she is having her pork roast. Is it good, Mumps?